Howdy, advanced students. Hopefully this will be a better and clearer tutorial on how to make a teacup. So I'm going to start from scratch. You could fast forward to the middle if you want to take up and work on the one you've got. But for those of you that were confused by yesterday, I want to give a full explanation. So we're going to start with a document. I'm going to call mine teacup example. This is up to you what you call it. Open this one up and we're going to do a quick profile at the very beginning. Here, my studio is taking a while to load. So we're going to first do a sketch on the front here. We're not going to worry about our dimensions in this particular one here. I find that that was a big distraction. So I'm going to start my sketch on the front plane and view normal to the sketch plane. And if you remember, the first thing we did was draw a construction line straight up and down most of the way there. Then I'm going to turn construction line off, and we're going to want a line from here straight up part of the way, your construction line, and then come out a ways. And then I'm going to end that line. And I'm going to start another line that comes out from the origin and up to about, anywhere around here. And then I can X out of that. And then I'm going to complete this particular shape by adding in a 3-point arc from here to here. And then I can play a little bit with the shape right here before clicking in. And that if you've made it a confined shape, that should be completely done there. Now, from this point, if you turn off the drawing tool, you can pull these points around a bit until you like the shape of the actual teacup that you're going to be making. So I'm going to drag that around, and I particularly like that shape, but that's up to you. Now, we do need to offset these 3 lines. You could select them one at a time, 1, 2, and 3, or you could just draw a box around those 3 and it'll highlight those 3, and you can turn on your offset tool and pull that offset tool in a bit to give the wall some thickness. And I'm not going to require a specific thickness there. Okay, so I'm going to click there, turn off the offset tool, and now I've got that line there, and that's looking good. Now there are a couple problems here. This point right here is not coincident with that. So I'm gonna, making sure I don't have any drawing tools on, I'm gonna zoom in here and select this point and this top dot and make sure they are coincident with each other. And now before we do the revolution, you can take, you could take some of these and pull them around if you want until you really do like the shape of your teacup here. So I'm going to make mine kind of a subtle curve like that. Okay, that's looking good. So we're done with the first sketch there. So now we want to revolve this sketch. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn on the revolve tool. I'm just going to revolve the outside part. You can do the whole thing if you want. So you choose the shape you want. I'm just going to do this part of the shape there. And then the revolve axis. Let's select that shape. And then the revolve axis is the center axis there. And I have myself a beautiful cup. All right. So most of you got to that point. Now, for the handle, this is where things got really confusing. Right now, you can see the sketch 1 is by default hidden. I'm going to turn that sketch on so I could see that dotted line. And I'm going to start a new sketch on the front plane again, because that plane is kind of in the direction we want. I'm going to view normal to that plane. And now I'm going to draw 2 lines, one from near the bottom, but not at this particular point. I'm going to draw this out to about here. And then when I let go and I do the second line here, if you notice right next to the line, if I have it at a 90-degree angle, it has a little perpendicular symbol. I'm going to ask you to try to keep that perpendicular and get it as close to the inner line as you can right there. And then we'll X out of that. And then we're going to make this second line a construction line. All right. Now, we want to finish this off by adding a 3-point arc from here to here. Whoops, I have that as construction. Let me turn off construction line. 3-point arc from here to here, and I'm going to pull that out until it looks like it has that little square and circle symbol right there, and click on that. Whoop, looks like I made it a construction line. I will select it and turn off construction line and make that into a line. Okay, so this is looking almost done. We do need to link in some of this stuff. So I want to make this curve and this line selected at the same time and make them tangent to each other. Beautiful. And then I also want this point to be coincident with the inner line. So I'm going to make those coincident, and I'm going to make this coincident with that line here. All right. So looking good. So our second sketch is done, but I would like to call that sketch path. That is the path that we're going to do our sweep on. Now, this next step is probably the trickiest one. It's creating a drawing plane. So we need to make sure nothing else is on. We're going to go to this plane tool. It's right next to the helix tool. So we're going to turn on plane, and we have to change it from offset to curve point. And then this is the tricky part here. You got to click the line segment that you want the plane on first, and then the point at which it's going to end right here. Boom. And then click OK, and that will create a plane that is at a 90-degree angle to that point there. So I am going to click on plane 1 and view normal to it here. And now I can draw on that plane. Now I want to zoom in, maybe move it a little off, and notice where this point is ending. So this is where I want to do my drawing, at the very end point right there, where this line comes into here. So now I'm going to do a sketch on plane 1. I'm going to draw on that plane. Okay. And I want to do, we can just do a center point circle, and I'm going to start from there. And I'm going to pull a little circle out from there. And I have myself a circle that is drawn on that second plane. Fantastic. I'm going to call this the profile of our sweep. So we have the path and the profile identified in our names here. Lastly, we need to do a sweep operation. So back up a little bit here, we're going to turn on sweep. And the first thing it asks us is, what do we want to sweep? I'm going to click on that. And then we want to select the circle from profile. So I'm going to click on profile and make sure that that's selected. And then what's the path I want to take? That's going to be on path. And then when you click OK, you will see, if we back up to isometric view, that there it is. Now, you'll notice that my circle wasn't that big, and it swept a very thin circle. That does not look strong enough. So I don't need to redo the sweep, but I can go into the profile and I can edit this circle here. So I can pull this circle out bigger, and since it's an operation, it can show how that works. So, or you can edit any part of that operation and it'll redo the operation. So as you can see, I back out to isometric, and that looks a lot better there. Okay, so hopefully that will help. Good luck with your teacup, and remember, if you do it on a new drawing, make sure you share that new drawing with me. But if you did the old drawing that we did yesterday, then it's already shared with me. Okay, thanks and good luck.